Across towns and cities in the UK, there's a familiar face found at the heart of every used car dealership, a local dealer who's become part of the community. For decades, these dealers have lived and breathed used cars. For many, it's not just a job, it's a way of life. Every morning, they're out on the lot checking over engines, chatting with regulars and making sure every car is ready for its next adventure. Many people have driven past these dealerships, the ones with weathered bunting, hand-painted signs and forecourts full of honest motors. They might not be fancy, but they're real, and they've been fixtures in their communities for years. Most dealers got into this business for the love of cars and the thrill of finding hidden gems, those overlooked motors with character and plenty of life left in them. There's nothing quite like matching the right car to the right person, but times are tough. Dealerships are closing all around and a quiet crisis is hitting independents everywhere. The high street isn't what it used to be, and every month another mate in the trade shuts up shop for good. It's not about greed, it's about survival. Independent dealers are battling online giants who can undercut them on price, strict regulations that seem to change every year, and a market that's shifting faster than they can keep up. The paperwork alone could fill a boot. Pulling back the curtain reveals what's really happening behind the sales signs. There's a lot more to this business than meets the eye. Late nights, tough calls, and plenty of stress. Understanding the pressures these dealers are under might help you see your local dealer in a new light. They're not just there to make a quick buck, they're part of the fabric of the neighbourhood, helping people get on the road safely and affordably. These aren't dodgy dealers, they're small business owners fighting to stay afloat. Every sale keeps the lights on, pays the staff, and supports local families. The biggest headaches faced include finding decent cars at auction, making sure every vehicle is up to scratch, and dealing with the endless red tape and ever-changing rules. And of course, there's the fallout when things go wrong. Because in this business, something always does. Whether it's a breakdown, a tricky customer, or a part that's impossible to source, it's the dealers who have to sort it. Here's the inside track. Stories from the trenches, the good and the bad. The moments that make dealers proud and the ones that keep them up at night. By the end, it becomes clear why the local used car dealer is an endangered species worth saving. They're more than just a business. They're a lifeline for many in the community. It's about more than selling cars. It's about community, expertise, and a personal touch that's disappearing fast. Stick around and discover the heart and soul behind every handshake and every set of keys handed over. The biggest daily struggle for UK used car dealers isn't just selling cars. It's actually finding good ones to sell in the first place. Even before the doors open each morning, there's already concern about what's left on the lot and what can be sourced next. The search for quality stock has become a relentless challenge. Good cars are vanishing, and the ones that do appear are snapped up almost instantly. Since the pandemic, new car production slowed dramatically. That means fewer new cars on the road and in turn far fewer used cars returning to the market. The result? Prices have absolutely skyrocketed and the pool of available cars is shrinking by the day. At auctions, independent dealers are up against massive car supermarkets and national chains with budgets that dwarf theirs. These larger players can outbid almost anyone, and they're not afraid to pay over the odds. These giants can afford to overpay because their real profits come from finance deals and add-ons, not just the cars themselves. Recently, a Ford Focus was seen going for more than its retail value. It's madness. How can any independent dealer make money like that? Competing with those prices is nearly impossible for smaller dealers. Trying to match them would put many out of business in no time. This scarcity means higher prices for customers and razor-thin margins for dealers. Everyone feels the squeeze, buyers, sellers and dealers alike. Dealers are now forced to consider older, higher mileage cars, vehicles that wouldn't have been touched a few years ago. But with so little choice, the risk must be taken, even though these cars often come with hidden problems and extra costs. The days of filling the lot with prime, low-mileage stock are long gone. Now, every car feels like a compromise. Every car is a gamble. It's impossible to know if it'll be a winner or a money pit until it's too late. Dealers spend hours, sometimes entire days, scouring online auctions, calling contacts and chasing leads just to find one or two cars that might turn a small profit. It's a constant hustle. The hunt for stock has become the most stressful, time-consuming part of the job. It's exhausting, and there's no end in sight. These days, it's a daily battle just to keep cars on the forecourt and the business afloat. Imagine a dealer finds a decent car. The next step is paying for it. Most independents rely on stocking loans, which work like a credit card for buying cars. Interest is paid daily until the car sells. But finance companies are increasingly nervous. Credit limits are being cut, rates are rising, and funding is often refused for older or higher mileage cars. Dealers are forced to pass on perfectly good family cars because lenders won't fund them due to age. Using personal cash is risky. Dealers need that money for bills and wages. With less funding, fewer cars can be stocked, leaving customers with limited choices. The longer a car sits, the more interest accumulates, eating away at already slim profits. It's a vicious cycle. Less stock, fewer sales, more costs. The very systems meant to support dealers are now squeezing them out. Dealers are being charged more for less help. It feels like the industry is set up to fail. After sourcing and funding a car, used car dealers must get it ready for sale. It's not just a quick clean. Modern cars are computers on wheels, and repairs are complex and expensive. Diagnostics now require costly, brand-specific software and hardware. Even a simple sensor replacement can cost hundreds, plus specialist coding. Recently, a minor brake issue on an Audi A4 cost nearly £700 to fix before it could even be advertised. Dealers are forced to rely on main dealers or specialists who charge a premium. Even trusted local mechanics are turning away newer cars due to lack of equipment. The cost of prepping a car has doubled in a decade, but customers still expect low prices. Every repair chips away at the dealer's margin. The days of fixing everything in-house are over. It's another pressure point that's becoming unbearable for the industry. The Consumer Rights Act gives buyers a short-term right to reject. Return a car within 30 days for a full refund if it's faulty. Sounds fair, but the definition of faulty is now so broad. Cars are often returned for minor issues like a vanity mirror light or outdated sat-nav. Sometimes it's simply buyer's remorse. People change their minds and look for any excuse to return the car. There have even been cases where a car was refunded because the buyer couldn't get a loan and claimed a minor vibration. When a car is returned, dealers lose the sale, the prep costs, and end up paying more interest on the loan. What could have been a profit can quickly turn into a big loss. Well-intentioned laws are being abused, and small dealers are the ones who pay the price. It's like offering a free 30-day rental at the dealer's expense. Most customers buy on finance, and used car dealers act as brokers in these transactions. Now, finance companies push all responsibility back onto the dealers, even years after the sale. If a car develops a fault 2 years later, finance companies often side with the customer and demand that dealers pay for repairs or buy the car back. Dealers have received demands for thousands of pounds on cars sold years ago. Dealers are held liable for normal wear and tear long after the car leaves their care. Fighting these large corporations is nearly impossible for small businesses. It's a classic case of the big guy passing the buck to the little guy. This is forcing good dealers to close their doors. It's another ticking time bomb for independents. Here's a typical Tuesday for a UK used car dealer. The day starts early, long before the first customer walks through the door, and ends well after the sun has set. Every hour is packed, and there's barely a moment to catch a breath. The morning begins with paperwork, endless forms, invoices and compliance checks. Hours are spent scouring online auctions, searching for decent stock, knowing bigger dealers with deeper pockets will likely outbid. It's a constant game of cat and mouse, and the pressure never lets up. The phone rings, a customer's warning light is on. It's always urgent, always a potential headache, and everything must be dropped to help. The customer is booked into the garage and the cost is covered, even though it eats into already thin margins. Customer service comes first, but it's a balancing act between keeping people happy and keeping the business afloat. Next comes prepping a car for sale, cleaning, polishing, making sure it looks its best. Photos are taken, detailed ads are written, and the car is listed online, hoping it'll stand out in a crowded market. Sometimes a transporter delivers a car that's rougher than expected. Scratches, dents, issues the auction never mentioned. Dealers spend ages arguing with the auction house for a refund or some compensation, but it's usually a losing battle. the risk is always on the dealer. A customer comes to see a car, takes a test drive, asks 100 questions, but wants to think about it. An hour gone, no sale, and it's important to stay positive for the next one. An email arrives, a finance company complaint about a car sold 18 months ago. More paperwork, more stress, and another problem to solve before the day is done. The garage calls, another repair bill, more profit gone. Every unexpected cost chips away at the bottom line, and there's no way to predict what's coming next. Locking up late, exhausted, and realizing not a single car has been sold that day is common. The lot is quiet, but the mind is still racing with everything left undone. Most days are spent firefighting, dealing with problems, chasing paperwork, putting out fires, rather than actually selling cars. The job is nothing like what people imagine. This isn't a bad day. It's the new normal. The stress, the unpredictability, the constant demands. They're all just part of the job now. For used car dealers, the job is now a constant juggling act where every day feels like a marathon. But despite it all, they keep going, because in this business, resilience is the only way forward. When a dealership closes, it's more than just a business lost. It's a family security and a piece of the community gone. For many, the business is their life and family history, often passed down through generations. The ripple effect touches everyone. The valeter, the mechanic, the sign writer, the cafe owner, all rely on the trade of local dealerships. Money spent at these businesses stays in the local economy, unlike with big online supermarkets. Families behind these dealerships have sacrificed so much. The stress, sleepless nights, and constant pressure take a toll on everyone involved. Many have seen friends and colleagues lose everything: business, home, even health. These businesses are built on trust and personal service. Dealers remember their customers' names and help long after the sale. When these dealerships disappear, that personal connection and local expertise vanish too. It's not just about cars, it's about community. The loss is felt far beyond the forecourt. Once these businesses are gone, that's it, and that's a real shame. If you've made it this far, hopefully the challenges faced by used car dealers are clear. It's not about seeking pity, just a bit of understanding. When it's time for a new car, consider visiting your local dealer. Stop by, have a chat, and see what's on offer. Local dealers work hard to stay competitive while also providing experience and personal service. If there's a problem, you speak directly to the dealer, not a call center. If you have a good experience, tell your friends or leave a review. It helps more than you know. If there's an issue, give the dealer a chance to fix it before going nuclear online. The future of local dealerships depends on community support. Without it, small dealers will vanish and car buying will become less personal for everyone. Thanks for listening. Maybe you'll visit a local dealership soon. The kettle's always on. Like and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories from the world of used cars.